making it easier for people to find you. Because I think that's what a lot of producers miss is, they're not making it easy to be found. If that makes sense.
Facts.
I agree with that.
Yo, yo. To piggyback on that a little bit, man. Like you said, consistency. For us, it took probably 2, 3 years before we started to see income that we could actually. I wouldn't say we could live off of it, but it was the first time we ever made a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And then it took probably another year after that. That for like the fourth year we were in business, we finally hit like 150,000 in sales, and that was enough for us to live. Um, if you're not able to go for a few years without seeing the results, bro, it might not work out for real. Because like
Yeah.
I said, there's so many different ways you got to try to clock what's happening and be on trend, and sometimes you're missing it, and your skills have to catch up.
Hmm.
So, I mean, stay improving, stay looking for new shit to do, and add your own flair, like you said, bro. You can't get on there and just make little dirt beats. You can't just start posting little baby beats. Like sometimes, if you're gonna do that, do it your own way. Do it
Right.
your own way and put your own spin on it.
Hmm.
Um,
So,
if you're not gonna,
so how would you like go about like say you were just starting out like what how do these guys even know like what if obviously if you're not going to go for Dirk beats and Lil Baby beats and Drake type beats because you're competing with a million every other producer, like how do you find those niches? Is it like more like the up and coming artists that are kind of starting to get known or
Um.
man, if you real savvy, you get on vidIQ or Tube Buddy, some shit like that.
Yeah, I would say you could, there's tools you could utilize like vidIQ, but at the same time, like I said with the whole Cardi B thing, it was more kind of luck in a way that like Cardi B took off and like our beats took off. So I would just say, uh, just keep trying and just seeing what's relevant, but at the same time, still be true to like what you like to make as a producer, because your style might be like boom bap kind of beats. You know what I'm saying? And like that's what you're like really really good at. Maybe find somebody that's like blowing up on TikTok or something right now and make those kind of beats. And but nowadays I feel like TikTok and like all these social media platforms are probably like the best bet of you know getting big followers and converting them into sales and stuff like that. So I would just say you gotta be like kind of savvy with social media and do your due diligence to find out like what's relevant and what's being searched a lot.
I agree. And another thing, like just don't give up. Like people like they tend
Yeah.
to give up easily. Like they try something,
Hmm.
they try for a few days. It's just been a few days, and they just be like, "It ain't working." I'm just gonna give up. You got to keep going. Like you can't give up at all.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
Nah,
and and then another thing I would also say, is like making money and stuff is like cool with beats in that, but at the same time, like I genuinely like came into music as like something that was therapeutic to me, and it's still therapeutic to me to like still to this day. So I would just say, don't always just come into music. Like, of course, it's cool to make money and stuff like that, but if you don't genuinely just like music, I mean, it's gonna be hard to stay motivated and to like constantly always want to do it.
facts.
You know what I mean? So
You gotta love it.
yeah,
Nah,
it
big
can't be like
facts.
a quick money scheme,
Nah.
Speaking on that, I feel like recently, like kind of like really, I feel like the community really got big. Like in the last 4 or 5 years, I feel like we kind of got a whole new wave, and a lot of these guys come and go, but we constantly get a new wave of guys that come in because they think it's quick money, it's an easy hustle. Kind of like the same guys that would maybe go and try to those Amazon buying stuff on Alibaba and selling on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like that
yeah,
kind of style. Which I mean, nothing against people that are like got to hustle, but at the same time, a lot of those guys too are the ones that you're talking about that try something for a month and then it don't work and they're on to the next hustle. And I feel like a lot of those guys never end up finding anything because they never stick with anything long enough, and they kind of end up just either overall giving up or just staying on that same cycle.
yeah. I agree with that, man. I feel like with social media, there's a lot of you know uh like people selling information or giving out information that might not be totally true, and it might set some unrealistic expectations. So I mean, it's one of those things like social media is cool, but you also gotta like like if it's your passion, like follow your passion. And
Yeah, for real.
because at the end I feel like that's one of the main things that kind of like defines people is like, is this something you really like to do, or is it just something that you're trying to make money off of real quick? Yeah,
Definitely
definitely.
agree.
Do you guys think you would all still be making beats? I know you've all been doing this for years and years. Do you think that if you were still working a job and you had never found success, selling beats and making a living off it, you think you'd still be doing it?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Prime facts.
Yeah.
personally for me, yeah, just because like I said, man, this has always been like that initially started as therapeutic for me. So you know
It was like more do or die for me.
yeah.
I didn't work like 4 jobs in my whole life. I was like, man, I'm gonna make it with this music shit no matter what.
Hey,
And
that's
bam,
all it
it happened.
takes. You to believe that, and then it happened.
For real. You believe, you achieve.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, making quotes. Nah, but it's funny, bro. But it's, what I'm saying. It really is true, bro. Because that's kind of the position that we were in. Is like, what I'm saying. Like, it came down to where I couldn't even get a job type shit because like trouble and stuff I was in. Music was more like a all or nothing for me. So you know, being consistent and like working overtime and whatever you got to do to make it work. A lot of it is trial and error. So yeah.
Like speaking of jobs and
Ha-
stuff, like it's
Go
jobs out
ahead.
here that's like for music, like engineers and all that. Like instead of working a warehouse job, go find a job and something you like to do. Like if music, what you like to do, find you a job in that field.
Facts. But yeah.
What I know you guys like have gotta have either people you mentored or friends and stuff, or just people that online that have, come to you for advice, or have tried to get a career going with this. What are some of the mistakes you guys, even with selling beats or just producing in general? What are some of the big mistakes that you see people making that could be
Mm,
avoided?
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Hey, that's a head scratcher right there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would say just I feel like sometimes people don't know how to like stick with the time, or some like beats are cool. Like I feel like sometimes people are good at making beats, but they don't invest in the same amount of time like learning like how to sell beats online, because I feel like that itself is like a whole nother aspect of like making beats. Like, not saying everybody can make beats, but like a lot of people can make beats. But one of the things that defines like being successful online and selling beats is actually knowing like, how to market, or like strategies, or having like an eye for your brand and how to brand yourself, and present yourself as like something that's high quality. Cause yeah, I feel like that would be one of the main things is people don't fully like dive into the business side, because it's definitely you definitely need to know that to be successful online.
Yeah. I say one thing that producers don't do is start building the email list early enough. Like when
Yeah,
it come down to really selling beats, y'all should start doing that from day one.
I agree.
Facts. Speak on it, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Shit.
yeah.
That's it, man. Build it and use it. Build
Are
it and
all, are
use it.
all you guys using that?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
And was that something that you were early on, or did you kind of like did it
I,
take a while to learn the power of it?
I mean, the first year or two we sold beats, we didn't really sell beats, and we weren't doing any email marketing. So once we really wised up, um, yeah, things got a lot better. I would say we were early-ish because it was still 2014 or something like that. But I mean, we've had to start doing that, and then at the same time, obviously, YouTube kind of took off in about 2015, 16 with type beats. So then once we started doing heavy email marketing, and we had a big audience on YouTube, shit started to get really good. So Yeah, man, you have to do that.
Yeah, I would say for us, it was always like a love and hate relationship with email marketing, just because I feel like nowadays, like some of these platforms like Mailchimp, Aweber, they've all like changed and evolved. So back then, we did do email marketing, and it did help to a degree, but at the same time, like we didn't really find a lot of success in sending out emails. It was more so just like retargeting customers through like social media ads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But then texting came along, and that was kind of like something that helped. But recently we have dived back into it, and it does work to an extent. I just think you got to be kind of smart with how you send out emails, and also try to provide value to the people that
Facts,
you're sending emails to. So
facts.
yeah, it's definitely one of the things that I wouldn't. I would say if you're a producer and you're trying to, get sales and stuff like that, I would try to take advantage of all like avenues of like sending out emails, text messaging, and then also ads on social media.
Yo, how well does that text message marketing work?
The texting works good, but it's kind of a hit or miss. The one we've been using is Fan Connect, and personally, I'm not a fan of them. Um,
Okay.
I don't really like the way when they updated everything, it changed it, and once they changed it, I started seeing that it was being less helpful.
Hmm.
But I do definitely think I would try it and see if it works with your customers.
Yeah.
Um, but it did, like, you do get like a spike of people at one time that would check out like beats on your website, stuff like that. So yeah, I would use it.
All right. Yeah, I've always been curious about texting. Uh, what I mean,
Yeah.
shit. Oh, I ask you. I can maybe ask y'all questions on the side, but all right, that's a bit.
Oh, for sure.
That's a bit.
How do you get like? How did you guys build your email list? So, what would you recommend to like people like, bro? I got 34 followers on my Instagram. I got dope beats, but I really got no fans or no customers. Like, how would you
Uh,
get
uh,
emails?
shit. For us, I mean, the early emails that we were getting, honestly, we migrated a bunch of our customer emails over to the mailing list on Mailchimp. I did, like I said, for 2 years we were selling beats on SoundClick, is what we were doing. SoundClick was basically, that was a heavy source of traffic for producers back in the day. So I mean, you get on there and spend a little bit of money every day for like their daily promo. I mean, you could 3, 4, 5x your money pretty easy if you had good beats. Um,
Facts.
and so we basically, yeah, just used them. I mean, just buying promo, buying customers essentially. And then we migrated all that to a mailing list, and over the years giving away shit for free. You know what it is. YouTube, download the beat, give you the email address. It's the same shit everybody does, but it just takes a lot of time to build up a big list. I mean, we probably got like 20,000 people, 22,000. Nothing crazy, but I mean, it's a nice list.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say for us, for the most part, most of our emailing list is people that like have purchased beats from us over the years, and then BeatStars has the stuff where it's all integrated now, so it all automatically kind of like gets saved into like Aweber or Mailchimp, and then same thing with the Fan Connect stuff. It automatically saves everything. But artists, I mean producers, they could give away free beats, but I've always been kind of like hesitant with doing that, just because if you're constantly giving out a bunch of free beats for people's information, more than likely it's just one of those things to where it might be where you might kind of be shooting yourself in the foot with giving away too much stuff for free, because then those people might only want free stuff. So I would just say it's a mixture of like providing something like discounts or something like that that would you know make people want to join your mailing list, and then also using your customers emails and stuff like that.
I think that's a big gem that you just said, bro. As far as don't think like if you get a lot of people on your email, let's say you get 1,000 people on your email list that downloaded a free beat, you might only get like one or two of them that actually are someone that are willing to spend money on a beat. It's really
Facts.
it's really a numbers game. Like I feel like that's one thing people get frustrated with. They're like, bro, I got 400 people on my email list and I'm sending out emails, but no one's buying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, that's like, that, and it's crazy though, because on top of that, like if you're sending out emails and you're sending out text messages, like if you go to the backside of like all of the logistics, like it costs money to email these people, it costs money to text these people. So not only are you like giving somebody something for free, but you're also paying to send out an email that or a text message that more than likely isn't going to convert because this person's only interested in you know, getting free stuff. So that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like one of those things to where I would skid lightly on constantly giving stuff for free. You gotta, it, you know, like give yourself value and be able to, say like, this has a price on it. I'm not gonna always just give away my work for free. So
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking about like tag downloads though for free. Like I wouldn't definitely don't give away your leases. Don't sell yourself short.
mhm.
Don't do those big packs of 50 free beats and all like that shit corny.
Yeah, that shit is retarded as hell.
Yeah, so
And those are usually the people that are if they do stuff like that, it's because they've learned about like the drop shipping or the funnel stuff. Like
mhm.
sometimes the funnel stuff works where you're like, oh, get 50 beats for X amount, but it's just one of those things to where it's kind of weird.
It is. I'll be honest. I ran that play one time. It was
Yeah,
successful. I ran it one time though.
I've never did that
It
shit, bro.
was
I was just
successful.
like, it just
Yeah,
it's to me it's a little cringy, but I mean, it's one of those things. It's like you never really know until you try it, but you know what I'm saying. It just I feel like you could kind of tell when it's somebody that just doesn't like really make beats like that, and they're like one of those people from TikTok or something that just want a quick buck. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
I felt that one.
We're going to be bringing some guys up here too. So if you got a question, definitely raise your hand. But if you guys just came to the room, listeners in the audience, if you could please tweet out the room so we can, get some more people up in here, get more people up here and drop, get expose more people to conversation and these gems. But yeah, raise your hand. I see Chris Mendoza, bro. I'm gonna bring you up, man. I know you got some good input and questions. But if you got a question, definitely raise your hand and we'll bring you up as we go. Um, but okay, so Thad, you said that you did find some success with doing the funnel thing. I'm
Yeah, I mean it's
surprised.
a long time ago though. I don't think it will work right now. But yeah, I mean we went and got about 2,500 emails from Facebook. Put them all in an automation chain and sent emails out. And yeah, after I did the tracking and everything, I mean it was profitable, but it wasn't worth the time.
Got you, got
Probably
you.
could have made way more money off that. We just click. I'm honest. So
Um, New money. I got a question for you, bro. Because I see, your channel. You definitely hit some big numbers, like 60K. And so what was it like when you hit those numbers? Because I was looking before. Um, you kind of just were doing like decent numbers, and you hit 60K. What did you do different that hit those? Was it a certain type beat that you tried, or what do you think went into those big
Nah,
numbers?
honestly, I was just like around that time, I was just studying the algorithm and like just studying like certain ways and how like keywords and all that shit work. So really, I just tried some new things. Try like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you know what I'm saying.
Was it discouraging when kind of like after that there was like there was a few beats before you had done big numbers like that? Because I feel like that's another reason why people quit. They might get it successful, and then when they go back to their normal views, they're like, oh, what happened?
Nah, it ain't discouraging. I ain't really expect it, but at the same time, I really just looked at it like another day. Like it was one time, like my most beat got like 62K. Like I watched it hit like 1K, like as soon as I uploaded it. And after that, I was like, I noticed the banger. And so, I just looked at it as like another day. Just kept it moving, kept uploading, kept going.
Facts. Um, this was another question I had. I had forgot it for a second, but when as far as like email marketing, have you guys ever like actually personally reached out to people on your list and maybe like even went as far as like booking like a Zoom meeting with people with an artist to kind of just build a relationship in that sense?
I've done that a little bit. It don't really, to me, in my opinion, I don't think it really works because the other person might not be as consistent as you, or just be looking for a quick buck as well. But at the
Yeah.
same time, nah, I don't really try it.
I I mean we personally like sent out emails and stuff like that, but also I feel like sometimes you know sometimes the people might be nervous or they don't want to do like that face to face or in
Yeah,
person stuff. And then
Yeah.
sometimes people are busy, bro. They do this like they make songs and music on their free time, and they might not always be free. And
Yeah.
life gets busy, so sometimes I feel like not every artist is looking for something like more personable, and they're just more doing stuff on convenience. And doing face to face isn't convenient. And then on top of that, I'd imagine, a lot of them are probably thinking like, if I got to talk to this dude on Zoom or ask him to talk to me on Zoom, it's probably going to cost me an arm and leg. So they probably try to avoid situations like that to where, they might be embarrassed that they can't afford it or, whatever the case may be. But, I'm sure that happens.
Yeah. Same with us. I don't think we've ever done any Zooms with customers, but for a long time, my phone number was like right at the top of our website. So I used to take 20 or 30 calls a day sometimes. I got to know a lot of the people that way, but never did like Zoom stuff.
I just feel like people not ready at the time.
Right. Right. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to get with people. You got to schedule it. Everybody got to be on time. Sometimes, your Zoom fucks up. So it's just not worth it.
I guess where my thought process is, especially if you could say you got a customer that maybe over the last year has maybe bought like 5-10 beats from you, or maybe even just a couple. Like it might be worth to, you know, personally reach out, maybe just be like, yo, bro, I'd love to, either send me some music or we could jump on Zoom and kind of just I want to just hear more about where you're at, and maybe you can play some stuff live for me. And I just feel like those are good situations where because Beat Demons, you guys have talked about how you've done a lot, off of selling on BeatStars, but you've done a lot of like customs and collabs and stuff. But I could just picture, if you got some customers that have, got some money, maybe just giving them that time.
Yeah.
You could potentially, upsell them on like, yo, bro, let's do like a whole EP, and we can promote it on our channels and blah blah blah, and maybe you could, that could be like a $500 play right there, or something
Yeah.
like that.
I mean, we've also like leave it very open, and always welcome anybody that has purchased anything from us to send us their songs. And we will give them a review and stuff like that. But usually it's just one of those things to where I think it really varies on if the person sends their music, and if we vibe with it 100% to where you know it's just like one of those things to invest in time and do certain stuff like that. But I think there's a lot of variables to where it is a good idea to do it, but at the same time it gets a little hectic to be able to do that with a lot of people. You know
Yeah,
what I
it's
mean?
tough.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, I feel like for you guys, for sure, you guys got a very successful. You guys are selling a lot of beats per day, and
Yeah.
you kind of like, not that it's on autopilot, but you guys got a nice flow going. But I just feel like that might be for someone that's at that startup or like that.
Mhm.
Maybe they're even doing like, there's a lot of guys that are doing like 500 a month or 1,000 a month,
Yeah.
and I would assume that they definitely would have the capacity to
Yeah.
maybe make some extra bread doing that.
I feel like it's easier also if you do it in your own city. Because when we first started, we were already kind of like working with like artists and like just new artists just starting and stuff like that in our city, and kind of like charging them like maybe $200 for a beat or something like. And it's crazy because we used to do like exclusive rights or something like real cheap, bro. And we'll even make the beat in front of the artist type shit. So it's
That's how
just
it happens, stuff.
yeah, it's just, but that's how you start. You know what I mean? And like there's multiple ways. You don't have to always just sell beats online, but that's a good way to, you know, if you're trying to get more income, I would definitely try to work with people in your city and stuff like that.
Facts.
What about DM? Have you guys ever had any success, like reaching out to artists on IG or
Like
the
major
platform?
artists.
Major artists or just up and comers.
I get success from that.
Um, Honestly, bro, I don't want to say we've ever really like personally DM certain like people in general, like as far as like like artists that are just starting out. We've have sent DMs and stuff like that to like certain artists, but I mean it just gets into the loop of us just sending them beats and maybe they'll drop something, maybe they won't. I say something that's more consistent with us is like, we we got connected with an artist named Quentin and Finn, and he's from Austin, and he was signed to 10K Projects. Now he's with Empire, and we pretty much like produce like I want to say like 70% of all his music now. So it's good exposure, and we're working with a major artist, and we developed that relationship to where we kind of go everywhere with them, and that also provides us opportunities with other major artists. So it's just one of those things, man. It's just you got to network and figure out what works for you.